Today's workout is going to be a combination of dumbbells and resistance bands. We're going to be doing a full body workout that you can do from home. If you have any questions, let me know as we go. This is going to be working starting with the upper body, going to the core and lower body. So if that sounds good to you, hit that like button for me to let me know you want more content like this. So what we're gonna do is start out with some dumbbells. We're gonna be doing a chest press or a dumbbell bench press. So for this, I'm gonna be using a bench and grabbing a pair of dumbbells. Now I'm grabbing the 30-pound dumbbells because normally I do 40 pounds, so I'm gonna warm up with a slightly lighter dumbbell. So for the dumbbell bench press, I kick the dumbbells over the top of my shoulders just to help myself get into position. I'm gonna bring my hands wide to about shoulder width and push my chest out. This is our starting position. From here, I'm gonna bend my elbows out to the sides, keeping my hands in line with my elbows. So I don't bring them in close, bring them wide. So I'm really opening up that chest all the way down and all the way back up. Now I really wanna go down really deep with the dumbbells. And that's the advantage I like with the dumbbells is they can actually go all the way down to where they're to the side of your chest. If I was using a barbell, it would get in the way where I'd actually hit my chest. At this point, I couldn't go with that last inch where I get that deep stretch of the chest. Now, I like this exercise going that extra depth because not only am I putting more tension on the chest muscle, and that's going to promote more muscle growth, but I'm also stretching that chest. So instead of having a tight, non-mobile, non-flexible shoulder chest muscle, I'm actually improving the flexibility and strength through that flexibility. So it's not only stronger and going to improve my muscle growth, it's also going to help my flexibility of my shoulders. So if you have tight chest muscles, I used to stretch them all the time, but I found this really helps actually both stretch and strengthen. So I'm just doing about 10 of those, just warming up the muscles in my chest. It's always important to warm up a muscle before working it. You wouldn't start your car cold and just hit the gas pedal. Same thing with your muscles. We want to give them a little bit of time to warm up, get ready for the exercise we're about to do. So, we're also going to do a pull-up. I'm going to use a resistance band as an assist for this. Now, if you don't have a big loop band like this, you can also do this with a tube band. Let me show you how you do that. As I always warm up with what a lat pull down instead of a pull up. It's the same muscles, but they're just used slightly different way. So you'd put the tube band over the top, kneel down, grab as high as you can on that tube band. And from here, you're gonna pull down, pulling your shoulder blades back and down. Keep your chest pointed up towards the bar. Pull down, feeling that working the muscles in your lats and around your shoulder blade. Now, if this isn't heavy enough for you, because the lats are very large muscles, you can always add an extra band to the movement. So, for me, this red band's not quite heavy enough. So I'm actually gonna jump up to a little bit heavier of a band. This is a much heavier band. It's probably, I think this is a 100-pound band, and the red band is about a 40-pound, Might even be a 30-pound band. So this is just much thicker, much more resistance given. So I'm gonna do the same thing, reaching high as I can, pulling down to the back. So same muscles as the pull-up muscles, just doing pull downs. And 10. All right, so that's our warm up. I like to warm up in the same way that we're going to be working the muscles. That's called a specific warm up. Now you can do a general warm up like jumping jacks or jogging to get your heart rate up and everything a little bit warmed. But I like to specifically target the muscles I'm going to be using to warm up. I find that's more efficient in the workout because I'm specifically hitting the muscles rather than just warming up everything a little bit. So now we're gonna move to our bench press for our working set. Now, working set means that this is where we start counting. It's not, our warm-up sets don't count for how much work we're doing, or for, we're trying to get 2 to 3 sets per exercise at the minimum. So now this is where we start counting those working sets. So I'm gone to a heavier dumbbell, bending my arms, keeping my hands wide, going out wide and back up. Now I'm going not for a specific rep amount, but I know it's gonna be somewhere around 10 reps. I'm just going until I feel tired in that muscle. And one more, and 11. So I'm going to where I feel tired, but not completely exhausted. I wanna go to where I have 1 or 2 reps remaining, where if I push myself, I could maybe do 1 or 2 more. And that's actually been a difference in how I train now versus how I used to train. I used to go all the way up into the edge, and what I didn't realize is what I was doing was actually costing myself so much extra fatigue for only a small amount of muscle gain more. And that long term actually meant I was gaining less muscle because my body just couldn't recover from the fatigue I was building up. So I would miss workouts, or I wouldn't be able to work out as hard the next time. And that slowed me down. So it's kind of counterintuitive, but sometimes going a little bit less gives you a lot more in the long term. It's like, imagine you were running a race. Say you had to run a marathon. You wouldn't run the marathon like a sprint where you're like, oh, I'm just gonna go all out on that first mile, tire myself out where I can't finish the race. Same thing with working out. You wanna go at a good pace, but you wanna make sure you can get through the entire workout, just like you would wanna get through the entire marathon race. So all 26 miles. All right, so I'm moving to an assisted pull-up. So the band is actually assisting pulling, taking some of the resistance of gravity off of my body. So I'm gonna put my knee in the band, grabbing it shoulder width, going to a full hang. Now that full hang really lets that muscle go under high tension, and that's what's gonna really grow that muscle, that lat muscle in my back. So from here, firm grip, and full hanging, pulling up to my forehead, and then back down to a full hang. I'm going till I feel tired in my lats. And one more. 10. So I have fatigue, but I could maybe do 1 or 2 more pull-ups, but I'm stopping there because I'm gonna be repeating this exercise to get the most out of it. So I'm letting it rest while I'm working other movements and then coming back to it to really hit it again and again. If I went all the way up to the edge, I might not be able to do another set of that. All right, so now we're gonna move to our second set of bench press with dumbbells. So dumbbells on my knees, kicking up and so they're right over the top of my shoulder. Now you can just lay back and try and position the dumbbells over the top of your shoulders. I just find it's a little easier to get them in place by using your knees. All right, from here, bending your elbows, bringing your hands wide at elbow width and back up. I feel like 8, I can get to 10, 9, 10, I'm gonna try for one more, and 11. All right. I'm trying to keep good technique through the entire thing. So going all the way to where I'm fully stretching out that chest muscle. That's one of the ways that muscles grow, is going under high tension where they pull apart like that. So if I want that full section of muscle to grow, I really want that entire thing to be under tension. Now, so that's why we want to go all the way down and all the way up. If it feels uncomfortable in your shoulder a little bit, you can drop your elbows a little down, and that will help take a little bit of that pressure off while still letting that muscle fully lengthen. A lot of people do sort of these half reps, and that's actually not very good for your muscle. It's not very good for muscle growth, and it actually can increase the risk of injury because we never get into that deep range. So they tend to go heavier and heavier on the weight, and then when something goes wrong, the muscle can't actually handle that at its most sensitive range. So it's better to start lighter, but go full range of motion and build that deep stretch portion of the movement. So for a pull-up, that's down here. If you ever think of how much harder it is to do a pull-up from a full hang than from sort of a half hang up here, where you're just doing these pulses. Same thing with this pull-up. I'm trying to do that full hang. That's why I need the resistance band to let me get that full hang each and every time, because I could do maybe 1 or 2 pull-ups going to a full hang, but this band lets me get more reps and just closer to that failure point where my muscle can't repeat the exercise. So I can get more out of the exercise and have better technique using the band. So I'm going all the way down, all the way up. But the most important thing is going that full, all the way down. Because that's where I'm lengthening those lats. We'll say the bands have been a game changer for pull-ups for me. When I first started, I couldn't even do 1 pull-up, but using the band as an assist, it's let me build up the strength to do pull-ups. because I'm taking some of that weight of gravity off of my arms, while still leaving just enough to help promote growth. All right, that was set number 2. We've got one more set to go. Then we're gonna move into working some of the muscles in the arms and shoulders, really focusing on belding up bigger arms. If you're liking this content and want to see more, I host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. I'm building a community of people to work out and be healthy together. So if you're interested in building muscle, like I am, I do all my workouts on live. So I'm not doing something different than I'm telling you to do. I'm trying to show and lead by example. So I'm just trying to be very genuine here. These are the exercises that help build muscle. I'm showing you exactly what I'm doing to get the results I am going for. I'm 38. I'm trying to get a 6-pack by 40. So that's a combination of building up muscle and losing fat. So this working out is building up that muscle. And last one, 11, and relax. Whew. So a lot of people think that they're burning calories in the gym, and you are burning a little bit of calories in the gym, but usually it's not enough to actually notice a difference. What I found, and I had that same thought. I used to think, oh, I need to work out really hard. Doesn't matter really what I eat as long as I work out really hard. And that I've come to realize is actually not true. It matters so much more what I eat and how much I eat than it does what I do at the gym. The gym is important because it helps maintain the muscle, but for the fat, that's much more about calories and how much I'm eating at the time. So, both are important for different reasons. The resistance training, like what we're doing here, helps build muscle. So instead of having the weight on the scale be fat, it'll be muscle, which is good. And it helps you look trimmer, builds that physique. But if you're looking to have the number go down on the scale, that's nutrition. I like to say there are 3 pillars of fitness. There's exercise, but then there's also nutrition and sleep. And I found that for a long time I was doing the exercise part, but not really paying attention to the other 2. And that made it so the exercise wasn't nearly as effective as I wanted it to be. So if you are not giving yourself proper nutrition, not eating enough protein, or eating too many calories, you're not gonna see the results that you want. I know I didn't, but now I'm tracking everything that I eat to really get more effective results and have the workouts I do in my home gym matter more. I know before I was not eating enough protein. And 8. That's as far as I can go in that exercise today. Oh. Can very much feel that in my lats, which run all the way from your shoulder to actually cross down to your lower back. So for me, I try and eat about 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight, which is about 150 grams of protein per day. before I wasn't doing that. I was eating maybe a third of that, which is not nearly enough to fuel my body, to repair cells, to repair muscles. And so I wasn't seeing the results I wanted to in the gym because my body was just trying to scavenge every little bit of protein it could. So there wasn't enough to go into the muscle. That's why I say nutrition is such a pillar of exercise or of fitness. It's exercise, nutrition, and sleep. Whew. All right, so now I'm gonna drop to a lighter set of dumbbells and grab a resistance band. So we're gonna be working the muscles in the arms. So we're gonna work the tricep and deltoid with one and the bicep with the other. So for that, I've really been liking the overhead press exercise. So I'm gonna bring my dumbbells up to the outside of my shoulders. Now I would say this is not as easy to do with a resistance band because it tends to overstretch the resistance band. This is the only exercise I think I've broken a resistance band doing. So just be aware of that if you are using bands. Try and not overstretch them. For me, I'm very tall, so it tends to be that they get overstretched. So from here, you're gonna push up towards the ceiling and then bring it back down to the outside of your shoulder. This is working that back of the arm, top of the shoulder. I'm really bringing it wide to the outside of my shoulder to really stretch that muscle, to put it under high tension. And one more. I'm just going until I feel that fatigue in my muscles, where it's hard to keep doing the exercise, where this right in here is feeling tired. And that's what's going to promote muscle growth. So I'm not necessarily going for a specific number of reps. I'm more looking at what's going to cause the muscle to be tired. All right, so now we're going to do a bicep curl using a resistance band. I'm stepping right in the middle of the band with my foot. So stepping in the middle of the band, and I'm bringing the band forward slightly. So I'm taking a step forward with the foot that has the band tucked underneath, okay? So from here, 1 foot forward, that puts tension on the band pulling down when I'm out forward. So I don't want it to be here where the band is pulling straight down. I want the band to be pulling down against my bicep. So that's why we need to be a little bit forward, so it adds that resistance at the very bottom of the movement. From here, I'm gonna tuck my elbows tight into my sides. You should feel that tension in your bicep. From here, pulling up to the front and then back down out to almost straight. So I'm actually leaning back just slightly on this. You should feel that really burning in your biceps. And 11. Oh. That was, I think, the biggest unlock for me on any sort of bicep curl is instead of going down, going forward. And that's what's going to emphasize that bicep even at the bottom of the movement, because as the resistance pulls down, you don't want to pull parallel, you want to pull perpendicular. Or you don't want, if you imagine an arrow going down through the back of your hand, you want that arrow to be pointing in the direction that the band is pulling. So if I'm here, staying on the band is pulling straight down and my hand is moving this way, not pulling against the band. as opposed to here, it is pulling against the band. All right, so I like to do arms a little bit extra. So I'm gonna aim for 4 sets of arms. I used to do 1 set per exercise, and I found that actually I grow more and can build more muscle by adding extra sets in. So I'm really trying to prioritize building bigger arms. That's why I'm aiming for more sets of these exercises. So more times repeating in that exercise causes more muscle growth. So, or more times repeating a movement for a muscle, I should say, per muscle. So I'm increasing the number of times I'm working the arms in each workout. Now, we still want to try and have the muscle tired after every set. If we're not actually tired or fatiguing the muscle, it's not getting nearly as much as you could be out of each exercise. And at that point, we're just kind of wasting time. So you want to be somewhat tired by the end. So picking a dumbbell that's heavy enough to do that. And 11. And same thing with the band. You want to pick a band that's heavy enough where you feel tired by the end of the exercise. Oh man. So stepping one foot into the middle of the band, it doesn't matter which foot steps in. You just want to have that foot out in front. So I have one step forward, elbows tucked in at your sides, back straight, so no swinging from your back. So kind of lean back away from the band, pull up to the front of the shoulders. Now you should feel tension all the way to the bottom of this movement. So if you feel like the band is going slack, try to choke up on the band a little bit, or take a larger lean back to really keep tension through that entire movement. So I'm actually leaning back away so I can feel that tension all the way through. And relax. So if you're liking this workout and want to see more, hit that like button for me to let me know you want more content like this, where we're combining resistance bands with dumbbells. I find that resistance bands, you can still get a great workout with them, and they're a lot less expensive than dumbbells. So especially if you're just starting out, they can be a great way of figuring out what exercises work well for you. And you don't have to spend a ton of money buying equipment that you don't necessarily need. So for some people, a set of 10 and 20 pound dumbbells is just enough. But the resistance bands, you get a whole variety of weights. So you get multiple resistance bands with one set. I like this set because it actually comes with, I think, 5 bands for $30. Prices can vary, but somewhere around there. And you get a variety of resistances, each with their own weight. So this is a 2 to 4 pounds. This, I believe, is a 6 to 8 pounds. So you can find out what's the right resistance for you for each exercise. And then if you ever do decide to get dumbbells, you already know what weights you need. Just takes a little bit of technical know-how to know how to set up the bands. Let's see, we're not on bands, we are on third set of overhead press. The only restriction on them is bands, you want to be careful to not overstretch them. So some exercises you have to be careful about. So you want to maintain tension through that whole movement with no matter what you're doing, but especially with bands. I'm just going till I feel tired in the muscle. So tired in that deltoid and that tricep. 10 and 11. Oh. So that was set number 3 of overhead press. Again, we're trying to get 4 sets. I'm trying to get the 4th set because I'm really trying to build as much muscle as I can in my arms. All right, one large step forward with the band, curling up to the front. Keeping those elbows tucked in at your sides, leaning back a little bit from the band. Keep tension on that bicep the whole time. 8. Should be burning in your arms right about now. 9, 10, and 11. Oh. So I really like leaning back a little bit from the movement because that forces my shoulder back. I don't want my shoulder forward because then I'm actually shortening the bicep up here. If it's back, I'm actually lengthening that bicep through the entire length of the muscle. So a muscle attaches down here at the elbow, but it actually also attaches up here at the shoulder. So if my shoulder moves forward, I've shortened it. If I keep it back, I'm lengthening it across the entire muscle because it's what's called a bi-articulating muscle, where it's 2 joints. So if you want to maximize your bicep, make sure you're not rounding your shoulders forward. Okay, last set of arms, and then we'll go to some leg and core exercises. All right, last set of overhead press. I'm gonna take just one more hit extra. I can still feel burning in the top of my shoulders just holding onto those dumbbells. So I'm just gonna give myself an extra 30 seconds. Wow, time has actually been flying on this workout. It's faster than I expected. So I'm gonna try and get it all in under an hour today. So we'll power through in just a second. I just wanna make sure I'm getting a high quality set and my arms are still burning. So I wanna make sure I'm not gonna sacrifice form. I have good technique and finish strong. So sometimes I used to just keep on going through even if I was out of breath and sweating and hot, and now I've actually realized that I'm not doing any good by doing that my chance of hurting myself by having a bad lift is a lot higher if I do that. So I take the extra 30 seconds and then let the muscle recover just a little bit before I keep on going so I can maintain good technique all the way through. 5, 6, 7, and one more. 11. So usually I like to aim for about 10, but I'm trying to do what's called progressive overload, which is I'm making it a little bit harder week after week. So the first week I did 10 reps. This week I'm trying to aim for the same weight, but going for 11 reps, just to continue to challenge that muscle a little bit more. So that's a great way of doing it. If you're aiming for 10 reps, just add 1 rep per week, and for about a month to 2 months. So if you start at 10, once you get to 14 or 18 reps, whether you're going 1 month or 2, somewhere in that range, then take a break, give the muscle time to recover, take a week off, and then come back and start doing that again, adding 1 rep. That's what's called periodization, or in that distinct period of time, trying to work in improving, stair-stepping it up, and then deload to let it recover. Okay, last set of curls. So elbows tucked into my sides, stepping forward with the foot that has the band under it, leaning back away from the band so my arms are almost straight. Now, if you have any discomfort in your bicep tendon, try doing a lighter weight, but still keep that full range of motion. Might be you need to build up that tendon a little bit, because the tendon actually can grow as well. So, but trying to go all the way out to straight, or nearly straight with this movement, to where I'm putting high tension through that muscle, through that tendon too. So sometimes people's muscle is stronger than their tendon. It's actually common in bodybuilders that their bicep can actually outpace the bicep tendon. Some of that's because of the medications they take. And 1 more, and 11. Now, I always would recommend starting at where your tendon feels comfortable, where it's not causing irritation in that tendon, and then building that up over time. Okay, so those are our arm exercises. We've covered the chest, the back, the bicep, the triceps, the deltoids. Now we're gonna work down into the quads, glutes, and hamstrings. So the large muscles of the thigh and the hips. For this, I'm really quite tall. So for me, a standard squat is pretty hard on my low back, because I've got this big lever of my entire torso, because I have a long torso. So for me, I do a modified high rep squat. So instead of having the weight up here by my shoulders, I keep it down here by my sides. Now, I've heard this called a suitcase squat. This is a name I heard recently. Let me know if you know another name for this exercise though. So, hands at your sides like you're holding a pair of suitcases, and you're going to keep your chest up. From here, I'm gonna bend down and back up like I'm sitting down in a chair. Now, if you ever get to a point where you can't get back up, you can just set the weights down and come back up. That's one thing I really like about this. It's a lot safer, where you can get out of the movement if you need. You don't get pinned underneath the bar. So I'm trying to go all the way down, really bending my knees, and back up. I'm going for somewhere around 15 of these. I'm going until I feel that burning in the front of my thighs. And relax. So I think I got to about 20 there actually. So that works a lot of these quad muscles, some of the other muscles in your hips, but primarily right in here in the front of your thigh. Now we're gonna focus on this muscle back here, those glute muscles. Now, I do not have good genetics for building up glutes, but I found even with that, this exercise has actually helped me build them up from what they were. This is called a single leg bridge. So I'm bringing my right leg up because I'm starting with my left side. From here, you're gonna push down through your heel, bridging your hips up. You should feel that butt muscle on the left side have to tense up, pushing your body up towards the front. Now, be careful not to have your leg out here like this. This is more of a hamstring exercise, which is this muscle down here. If I'm close, then I'm hitting more of that butt muscle, that glute. Further out I am, the more hamstring, and the closer, the more glute. Okay? So, I'm gonna start with my left leg, do as many reps as I can, then I'm gonna match it on my right leg, on my dominant side. I'm just going until I feel that burning in my glutes. And one more. And same thing on the other side. Might be easier on the dominant side. I'm just matching that number. Because you wouldn't want your weaker side to get further and further behind. So that's why we do the weaker side first, then match it on the stronger side. I'm gonna need just a moment. The legs always take so much more out of me. Okay. I'll grab a quick sip of water. So if you're liking these workouts and want to see more, I host them on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Now, for these squats, you do not have dumbbells. You can just do it with body weight and just do high rep squats with body weight. The important thing though, is you keep your chest up. I don't want to lean forward like this. I want to bend down like that, okay? So when I'm going down, I'm trying to keep my chest up, my hands at my sides. It's gonna take a quick second more. And okay. What I'm looking for is that my heart rate has actually gone back down. If it's up at like 140, I let it come back down because I know that way I'm not limited by my heart, I'm limited by the muscle in my legs. All right, last time I did 20 of these, so I'm gonna see if I can match that too. I'm trying to keep my chest up though. Really bending my knees. That way I'm not bending my back. If you're liking this sort of workout and want to see more, hit that like button for me to let me know you like this sort of content. and 20. Oh man. All right. So after this, we're gonna do a core exercise using stability ball. I'm gonna show you why it's better to do a stability ball than it is a standard sit-up. Just letting my heart rate come back down a little bit. It's a 150 at the moment. Got one more exercise left to do for legs. So legs, and then we'll finish out with core. So, going to a hip bridge. Now you can do hip bridge with 2 legs at the same time, and especially if you're just starting out, that's a great way of engaging those glutes. You can feel that working in the hamstrings and glutes in the back of your thigh. But if that gets too easy, where you can do a lot of reps without it being challenging, lift one leg up, do the same thing with one leg at a time. Oh, hang on a moment, my leg is cramping. So I'm gonna need just a second. All right, so starting with my left leg, bridging up and back down. I'm counting how many reps I'm doing because I'm gonna match whatever I do on my left leg with my right leg. And 11. I'm counting on my fingers because I can't talk and count at the same time, especially not while working out. One more. All right. So we just worked our upper body, our lower body. Now we're gonna finish out with a core burner. So, a lot of people want a 6-pack. Now I'm not gonna lie, that a lot of that comes from nutrition and losing weight, but increasing that muscle size is going to help push those muscles out in your abdomen, maybe make them look a little bit more defined. So if you're looking to get a 6-pack and doing everything you can in the nutrition side, here's something for the exercise side. So using a stability ball or exercise ball, that's what these are called. Now the advantage of this is it lets you put max tension on your abdominals. So in a crunch or sit-up, usually this is as far back as I can go because the ground is underneath me, stopping me. But with the exercise ball, I can actually go into full extension where I'm really stretching this muscle. You can actually feel the stretch in this part of your abdomen, in that rectus abdominis, that 6-pack muscle right here. So from here, I'm going to try and bring my rib cage to my belly button. So I'm folding up my stomach, breathing out, and then back down. And that folding movement is gonna really engage the muscles in your stomach, not the muscles in your hips. So we're trying as many of these as we can. Breathe out as you go up, so you're not compressing the air in your lungs. So just going until you feel that burning feeling in your stomach of that muscle fatigue. So as many as you can, we're just doing one set of this today. And relax. So I like to do just one set of core because I find for me, that's about what my body can handle at the moment. If you want to, you could add more sets to have that muscle grow a little bit faster or to grow faster from doing more sets involved with it. But if you like these sort of workouts and want to see more, I host them on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11.